Good morning. My name is Leland Thomas, and I'm glad and honored to be here this morning to share in honor of Jacob's work here. He asked me if I would come and share a song this morning with everybody to open the event here. So I share this song with you, and on my way this way, I was trying to figure out what I was gonna sing. I think I needed to see what his artwork was in order to give me that insight. And so this song that I'm gonna sing has to do with the kickball, but I think it gives a perspective to him. He's always moving and he's always going, and what pushes him and what I see in his artwork is always, our people of our past. I hook you all at them, because that drives him. And this song says that as I'm running towards this mountain, I hear the voices and the echo of the people, and it's the people cheering him on. And this runner, he's running towards the end, and it's giving him more encouragement. It's giving him that push. And I always see that in Jacob's work is his connection to our past, and that drives him, and that gives him his push to continue to do what he needs to do. So I shared this song with you this morning, and open this day's event. Pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada momoyo namai nanysasawe pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada anonyo winya sasawe pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada momoya namai nanyisasawe pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada momoya namai nanyisasawe pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada momoya namai nanyisasawe pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada momoya namai nanyisasawe pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada momoya namai nanyisasawe pawun tonoa kan homo kosasaka na jorimada anonyo winya komoina na yarimada momoya namai nanyisasawe. Sapa, thank you.
So welcome everyone. Really glad to be here this Sunday. A very couple of important dedications. I wanted to first acknowledge the Hayden house that we're standing here. This is the longest continually running building in the entire state of Arizona, and just wanted to make sure that you all could, really kind of take in the significance of this moment right now. And if you haven't had an opportunity to take a walk through and see what the building has become, please make sure to take a tour before you leave here today. It's a beautiful, beautiful restoration. Also, I want to acknowledge many of the dignitaries who are present here. First, I want to look back here. Councilmember Doreen Garland. I also saw earlier Councilmember Lauren Kuby was here as well. Standing by the back door, I see Mayor Neil Giuliano. And to his right, I also see Mayor Hugh Hallman. We also have our Deputy City Manager here, Rosa Nchowski. Our Community Services Director, Mr. Keith Burke. I think it's also very important to acknowledge the Historic Preservation Officer who was here during this project and who worked on all of this, Mr. John Southard. And of course, the big reason why we are all here today, Mr. Jacob Blake. Butler. Excuse me. All right, and also we have the Vice President of the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, Ricardo Leonard. There he is. All right. Want to also make sure that we welcome all representatives here as well from our 4 southern tribes. If you could please raise your hands and be acknowledged. I'd also like to make sure I extend a welcome to the Miss Salt River Committee for participating in this event. Here with us today are Miss Salt River 2021-2022, Sistine Lewis. Miss Salt River First Attendant 2021-2022, Nani Reyna. Junior Miss Salt River 2021-2022, Robin Ramirez. So I want to once again remind everyone we are here today to celebrate 2 very important things. First of all, to dedicate the new artwork by Mr. Jacob Butler. We had an opportunity to meet a few months ago when he first unveiled this. And we really wanted to make sure that we did a larger ceremony, frankly, celebrating the work he's done, not just here for this one art piece, but frankly, for the city of Tempe for so many years. He's been a very important part of the culture and the history of the city. And we wanted to make sure that we properly acknowledged him today with this ceremony. So we couldn't tell how happy we are to have you here. Make sure also to read that plaque by the door that also talks about his work and all that he's done in this community for so many decades. So please give Mr. Butler a huge round of applause for everything. And of course, as I mentioned too, we want to also celebrate the restoration of this very historic home, the Hayden home. So once again, please take a walk around and take a walk inside the building as well. Folks from the Downtown Tempe Authority, the entity that currently offices here, can obviously show you around and kind of show you some of the more interesting portions. And I'm pretty sure John could probably take you around and show you a lot of things as well, along with Alex Smith, who I saw there in the back. So. All right, so to tell us a little bit more about why we're here today and the very important history that we're acknowledging, I'd like to bring to the stage here Councilmember Doreen Garland.
I'd like to start by acknowledging the sovereignty of all Native nations within the state of Arizona and recognize our responsibility to honor Indigenous people, their culture and their legacy, and thriving communities, contemporary communities, by advocating for decolonized, inclusive, and diverse practices. I just want to start with that. The land we are standing on has been a place for Indigenous people long before the current occupants began settling here. And of course, Native American people continue to reside in this land, engaging in traditional practice, participating in contemporary culture, as we can see from the artwork that Jacob Butler did that's right behind us. The commissioning and realization of Jacob's work has taken place alongside the restoration of the Hayden House itself. The house is part of the city's pioneer era history, and the restoration of this house is an example of that commitment to also preserve the aspects of earlier Tempe history. The project was a collaboration with Hensel Phillips, a private developer, and without their full participation, the restoration of this building would not have been possible. So now we are here, and we are fortunate to have the Salt River Pima, Maricopa County, Maricopa Community Vice President Leonard, if you would mind coming up here and saying a few words to our audience so that you can welcome them also.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for the invitation, but I do want to recognize one person. I know she's a shy person, so I want to recognize this Vice Chairwoman from the Tohono O'odham Nation, Waverly Saunders. And Salt River's Tribal Historic Preservation Officer, Director, Mr. Shane Antone. And I also want to recognize all my relatives here, sitting here, and Jacob's mother and father and sister, and the people from the cultural department that have always been here every time when there is a need and to be a part. I just want to say that it has been quite a while that proclamation came out looking at us as people that were here quite a while. Our lands are immense. If you look at the historical parts of it, there were no boundaries, so we all traveled back and forth. Nobody from our four distinct tribes of the Gila River, Salt River, Akchin, and Tohono O'odham didn't say, you're on our land or anything of that sort. All our people were welcome, and all Indians were welcome. There's still a portion of the Great Bend that is not being recognized at this point, and the Great Bend in the Gila River is one of the points of where people travel. You couldn't, if you look at some of the historical items that were found, macaw feathers from Mexico, jade from different areas, all these places, you kind of trying to figure out, but that place in our areas were a place where people came to trade, and it was a huge gathering of people and acknowledgement of other nations throughout the United States. So I just want to say thank you for the Tempe Council and all those involved that made this proclamation. I know it meant a lot to a lot of people, and even our young people are still talking about it as to what it meant to our people. But I just want to say thank you to Mayor Woods, and thank you to all my friends out there that we've worked together for hundreds of years, almost seems like. But I hope to continue to work with Tempe and within our council and support all the things that are coming forward. And I just wanted to say I kind of expected to smell steaks walking in this place. Truthfully. I remember there was a back room where we had a lot of meetings and a lot of birthday celebrations and other things within our family, a family of about almost 20, and so it was something that was just looked at, and when people ask, where do you want to go? Well, let's go to La Casa Vieja. So that was the place to go. And I'll never forget the bread. I'm still looking for the recipe on Facebook and stuff. But I just want to thank everybody for being here, and I appreciate this, and I just want to say that it's a great day, and for a lot of you that are Catholics at this time, I want to wish you a happy Palm Sunday. And so that's all the words I have. Thank you.
I wanted to make sure that Vice President Leonard knew that I have the recipe for that bread. So if y'all want to talk to me afterwards, I'll be happy to share that with you. And the land acknowledgement resolution was a really important thing that we did for Tempe, one of the first things that we did when I got on council. And I just have to say that our council, our mayor, was really believed in it and thought that it was really important, but it wouldn't have happened without Councilmember Lauren Kuby. Absolutely not, because she has been talking about it for years before I ever got on council, so I'm kind of emotional. But Lauren, you're great. Thank you. I don't know why it's making me emotional. Now, please, I want to welcome and introduce Jacob Butler. He's an artist whose work crosses the intersection of traditional Native work and contemporary art. He is a member of the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. He works in the Cultural Resources Department, and in his own time, he crafts murals, illustrations, and he works in traditional shell art, which is absolutely beautiful. Jacob has created these beautiful gates that are behind us, and I would like to welcome him so he can talk a little bit more about his artwork. Jacob Butler.
It's good, Siarik. So, I'm not comfortable with this type of acknowledgement, and so excuse me if I seem a little flustered. But traditionally, we don't talk about ourselves in this way. So for me, like, it sounds like a lot of ani, or me, and I, and that's, I guess, counter to how we are. And you know, the artwork, it was an honor for me to be asked, you know. So really, this was an idea that came from the Preservation Office, John Southard and Alex Smith, and in coordination with 4 Southern tribes, and specifically Shane Antone, you know, and it was something that they wanted to do when they were doing the mitigation of this building to honor the ancestral ties that we have to this land. You know, they found very, very distinct resources or archaeological resources here that they haven't found anywhere else. I think there's only one other instance that they found something that's significant that they found on this site. And so they wanted to acknowledge our ties to this land. And so I was just honored to do that and do that for our community. You know, but this piece here is just metal on the ground. What really matters is that plaque right there that actually honors and acknowledges that tie that we have to this land. And so today, that's what I think this is all about, is the acknowledgement. And so I thank you for hosting this and allowing me to talk, you know, because land acknowledgements are awesome. And when they first came out, I really celebrated them myself. But a land acknowledgement without the backing of action is just words. And so through this plaque, you guys are taking that step to actually honor the land acknowledgement that you guys state in all your activities. You know, and even today, a land acknowledgement was made, and we have true representatives of the people that you acknowledged in that land acknowledgement here with us. Vice President Leonard, Leland Thomas, the royalty and the dance groups. It's not what you see when you see the typical Native American regalia or what represents Native America as a whole. But there's a reason there's 22 different tribes here in Arizona, and there's a reason there's hundreds of tribes in the Americas. It's because we're all distinct and different, and we have different values and different belief systems that are expressed in not only our art forms, but our cultural ways, like the dance and our song. You know, and contrary to antiquated beliefs of genetics and how we got here, we didn't cross the Bering Strait. Our belief system says that we came from this land, and new research even proves some of that. And so I really appreciate you all coming and spending time with us and celebrating together. So thank you.
Good morning, my name is Paula Williams, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Skixyarik, Anianavchikit, Robin Amaris.
Skuktash, Anianavchigig, Isabella Doherty. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Good morning, my name is Samira Doherty, and it's good here to be there.
Skuktash, Anianavchigig, Sistine Lewis, and I'd like to thank you all for having us be here.
I want to say thank you to Halima Andrews and Vice President Ricardo Leonard and all the singers and dancers and to the Miss Salt River community. Thank you very much for being here. I know Vice President Leonard shared his memory of being here at La Casa Vieja, and I have to say, this was the place that I came to for dinner for my first date with my husband, and we just celebrated 29 years of marriage, so it's a good luck place. And we also had a rehearsal dinner here, so I've got a lot of really great family ties to this restaurant. Now I would like to invite you to take a self-guided tour of the Hayden House, and there will be docents on the inside that can walk you through and answer any questions for you if you would like. And I also want to say I want to thank the Downtown Tempe Authority and Cape Borders and her team for allowing us to be here and helping us organize this, so thank you to them. And then we will have Jacob Butler will be here, and he will be able to answer questions about his beautiful artwork and to tell you the stories. And I was just told that prisoners made this. Yeah. Okay, so there's some questions that you can ask him about his beautiful artwork. So I learned something different also there, but I want to know the story. I would love to hear the story of what you did. It was beautiful. And then also we have our master Adobe restoration expert, Reggie McKay. Is Reggie out here? Oh, over in the corner. Okay. Okay, so I would love it if you guys would wanted to ask questions of Reggie and how they helped restore the inside. It's fascinating to listen how they actually made the bricks the same way they were made when Monty's was first put together. So I think you could ask him some really great questions. So thank you so much for being here. And of course, again, Jacob, I want to thank you so much for being here and being a part of this event. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Historic preservation is so important in the city of Tempe, and it really means a lot for us to have you here. So thank you very much. Enjoy your day and enjoy the tour.